Question, Coach? Yeah. Will we see you again?
This is a story about an old man who became a professional baseball player. But it's much more than that. It's about loss, a big decision, and ultimately, it's a love story. One that might just make you cry. It certainly did for me. But before we get into all of that, I had to get a sponsor for this video. Shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. SeatGeek and I are teaming up to give you all a massive special discount on tickets and a chance to win $1,000, yes, $1,000 in baseball tickets. All you have to do is add code PICKLE to your account and you'll get 15% off tickets on SeatGeek. And you're entered to win $1,000 ticket credit. No purchase necessary. 3 lucky fans are gonna win $1,000 in ticket credits by adding the code PICKLE. Do that right freaking now. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, so they have you covered. And summer's not over yet. Concerts and events, and even better, code PICKLE works on all of those too. Again, that's code PICKLE for 15% off your next order and automatically enters you to win $1,000 in ticket credits. SeatGeek! Let me tell you about my first love. When I was 5 years old, my dad took me in the backyard with a huge bat, a tee, and a white ball. And from the first time I felt the crack of the bat, I was hooked. Though I loved the game with all my heart, it would be clear as the years went by that I wasn't the best at it. I was decent, but not great. I made my high school team and played very little. I took my last organized at bat in 1995, at age 18, against this guy, a future major leaguer. I somehow drew a walk, and from there I thought my career was over, permanently. I became a fan, someone who loved the game deeply, but hung up his cleats. Until one day, everything changed. Life is funny. It's absurd, but you can fill it with joy. It was March 2020. I was down in spring training and the Marlins graciously let me snoop around their facilities. And to my surprise, they even let me take a hack in one of their cages. In one moment, I was that 5-year-old kid again. I felt a spark I hadn't felt in years. A seed had been planted. Of course, a week later, the pandemic shut everything down. In our darkest hour, we had nothing. For 2 years, that feeling that something was missing never left me. And one day, I had a dumb idea. I wanted to play baseball, but not just for fun, but against a real baseball team. Like, even a pro team. And not just me, but with a bunch of other YouTubers. I got on Twitter and started looking for teams. Some said no, but there was one I sent a DM, and they said yes. And we had a lot of fun. I was not in baseball shape as I had only 3 months to prepare, but it was a fitting metaphor for this next section. There are 2 significant losses I have suffered recently in my life. Let me tell you about my dad, a former Air Force colonel, a man's man, and a long-suffering Mets fan. Unfortunately for me, he passed such torture onto my soul and I became a Met fan too, but in also doing so, gave me the gift of baseball. Throughout our lives, we shared the same passion and love for the game. It brought us together. He was there at every game, nearly every practice, and we never missed a chance to see the Mets play. However, in 2016, things started to change. He began to forget things. He would drive someplace and not know where he was. He would say wild things like he was just called up to active duty in the military. He would put on his dress blues and say the Pentagon needed him. As scary as this was, it does say one thing. My dad loved this country. My dad played a role in the military, and what was left of his mind, that was what was important to him. That means something. 2019 would be the last time I would take in a game with my father. Not because he has passed on, but because he is now wheelchair bound and cannot leave the house. Alzheimer's has taken from him slowly. He no longer recognizes me but smiles when he sees me. I told him I was playing baseball again. He lit up, but then went back to his normal, expressionless state. I still tell him everything, because he is here, and he should know. Divorce is an ugly word. It signals the end of hope, the end of a life together, the end of many ideals and dreams you shared with another person. For 18 years, I was married to my dream girl. Sadly, I made mistakes. We drifted apart. Too much was done that couldn't be fixed. I made the toughest, most heart-wrenching decision of my life. I will tell you this, nothing can prepare you for the pain of a divorce. Nothing can prepare you for how you will feel how down you will be, and how honestly much it just plain sucks. And in all this pain, in all this loneliness, and all this darkness of my heart, I once again found my first love. There is one thing I hate in life, it's losing. And on top of that, I hate being humiliated. At Bros vs. Pros 1 versus the Sock Puppets in North Carolina, I had one 3-pitch at bat where I got absolutely smoked and looked bad. I just chalked it up to rust. Surely it couldn't be because I sucked, right? So instead of just taking my lumps, I decided to do something about it. I began working on my swing in July of 2022. My goal? To get a base hit in one of these games, or at least not embarrass myself. Here are my first swings from before Bros vs. Pros, and here's the work I put in. Now, this is the thing about baseball. Newsflash, it's hard. I worked out for over 8 months and decided to put myself to the test. I took live at-bats against pros, won an ex-big leaguer. I faced a simulator that threw 97 miles an hour.
Right now. Oh, fuck.
That kid's throwing heat.
That's not.
What?
That's a strike.
And I looked dumb as shit. And even though my swing felt good in practice and my body was semi-holding up, something told me this might be the end. So I arranged 2 games for this summer, Bros vs. Pros 2 in Burlington and out west with the Portland Pickles. These are all D1 studs who will likely become professional athletes. Think Cape Cod League teams. But my heart was telling me something. Just like my divorce, the pain with my dad, and the stark reality that maybe I wasn't cut out for this. I had to make a tough call. It was a cold winter day when I decided I was going to walk away from the game of baseball. After a pretty bad hitting session and nursing the pain of an inflamed shoulder, I knew I was done. This coincided with my first week of moving out of the house after one last family Christmas, which hurt way more than any joy of gift giving could bring. Everything simply seemed like it was crashing down around me. Something had to give. I kept retiring as a huge secret. Portland would be where the road would come to an end. I planned on making a speech to my friends, the fans, and to the live stream audience. The sun was setting on my baseball career, and it was time to ride off. Bros vs. Pros 2 was a wild event. We actually led 2-0 to start, and my first at-bat was the top of the second inning. Cole from Watch Momentum led the inning off with a double, and now I was up with a runner in scoring position. I'm facing top pitching prospect, Georgia State's Rob Evans. Rob is a lefty who throws mid-90s, and the first pitch I saw was pretty much there, 0-1. Second pitch, and I knew I was in trouble, 0-2, late. Like, a decent swing, but late. Now, when you're down 2 strikes, the pitcher has a ton of options. Normally, he throws you something off speed just to embarrass you. But Rob already saw how late I was. Dotted. 0-1. So now I'm thinking all my hard work was wasted. I still couldn't catch up to the heat. Coming up for a second time, my goal was just to improve on what I did last, which was not strike out. And on the first pitch, okay, I put it in play, and so ended my journey in game 1. I also made an error, but let's not talk about that. The night ended with me going 0-2, but only 1 strikeout. I would say that's progress. So, this was big. It was the moment I had been waiting for. The sunset on my career was taking place. As the summer had gone on, things started to change in my life. The divorce got harder. The choices I had made got harder. My dad continues to decline in health. Life got harder. Here's the thing. On a baseball field, nothing that's going on in your life matters. When you step in between the lines, your problems are gone. For me, out there, I am made whole. In front of 4,000 fans, it was time to say goodbye to the game I love. I decided to lead off. Hell, I made the lineup, so I should bat first, right?
First pitch of tonight's ball game, 7:18 p.m. Misses outside, ball one. No over-under set for tonight as it's not a West Coast League game. Next pitch fouled into the parking lot. Count evens up at 1-1 on 5-point vids. Wind in the 1-1 pitch on the way, misses outside, ball two. Ron the K-Man checking in from Bend where the Pickles are playing this evening. 2-1 Bend after 3, hit to second. Ross Campbell with the throw over to first. Moose reels it in. 4-3 the put out on 5 points vids.
0 for 1. Okay, well, I put it in play again. Another weak grounder to second. On to the next.
I have one from the defunct Jackson Generals, the Mariners affiliate. Swung on and missed 0-1. Next pitch, pop foul on the right side. Count goes to 0-2. Wind and the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, hit to the right side. It's going to be a race to the bag. 3-1 the put out.
Man, I got some pitches to hit. How did I not nail that first one? Another weak grounder to second. Damn it. In between, I actually made some good defensive plays, and that set up the moment. Walking up to the plate for this last at bat, so many emotions were running in my head. It's the top of the ninth. There's a guy not really throwing gas on the bump. This has to be the moment, right? An entire lifetime coming to this place, to see me ride off into the sunset, to see me...
Swung on. 10-ply hit over to first. Toss to Mike. Steps on the bag. 3-1 the put out.
Fucking again? Are you serious? I couldn't have just fouled that off? And so, my baseball career ended. That's baseball. It's a game that doesn't forgive. Unfortunately, not every story has a storybook ending. My divorce, my dad, none of that mattered now. It took one summer for baseball to change me forever, and it was time to officially say goodbye.
Hey, before we all run away, Connor actually put this together, but he is unfortunately not here with us right now. But he got a ball signed by the entire team that is going to our team captain. And again, this was not me, this was Connor. Connor put all that. Speed!
I'll give you speech. I'll give you speech.
30 minutes or something.
Shit.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
I've had a tough year, but making other people smile, this is worth it. It's worth it. So if you have a dream or anything that you want to pull off, just fucking do it. Fucking live, man. Life's an opportunity. Take it. Fuck yeah, guys.
Question, Coach.
Yeah.
Will we see you again?
Yeah, you'll see me out on the
Let's
field.
go!
We'll do it next year. I'll see you guys next year. Love y'all.
No freaking way I go out like that. Let me tell you something. Chase your dreams for as long as you can. Because once you stop, that's all they are. Just dreams. And that's how I became a professional baseball player.
Picking up the pieces of these broken dreams, and I'm letting them go.
Special shout out to Table Rock Management for sponsoring this event along with SeatGeek. Thank you.